How's it going, friends? I'm Carlos from You Can Too. I have a question from Monica Granados, and she wants to know how to run power from an outlet to two light switches. One switch for one light and the other switch for another light. So she asked me if I could make this video, and of course I can do that. I really like it when people suggest ideas to me. And if people ask for a video on a certain type of installation, I'll gladly try to make it. This is our original outlet right here. We're going to take power to feed the two switches, and we're going to have two boxes, each with its own independent light. First, we make sure there's power and that the installation is connected correctly. We can see the two little lights here, which means it's connected properly. So we're going to disconnect the power to this switch because you should never, really never, do electrical work with the power on or with the breaker on. So let's turn it off. As you can see, the little lights went out, the power is off, and we're going to start wiring from the box with the two switches. We're going to run one cable to a box where one light will be and another cable to the other box. I'll tell you what I did. I already ran the cables to save some time. I took the outlet out of the box and I inserted a 14-2 cable because this cable is 14-2 with a 15 amp breaker. So the correct cable is the 14-2. This cable goes in to this box, and here on this box, I put a piece of tape to identify the hot wire. I don't actually usually use tape, but you're learning, and well, it's better to mark it so you don't lose track. Over here, I have another set of two cables. I labeled this one LT for light and this one too. This is one cable, this is another. One cable goes up to one box and the other cable also goes to the other box. If the light you're installing doesn't have a ground wire, then what you do is put a wire nut like this on it and don't get rid of this ground wire. Tuck it as deep as possible into this box because you might need that ground wire in the future. So one cable from a box where there will be a light goes and comes out here. We have another cable that also goes to the other light, which means that this is one switch and this is another switch. And this is the hot wire. And we're going to connect this cable that will bring power to the box. So now I'm going to make the connection. Here, I've already joined the ground wires. And I added a little piece, this is another piece I added, and I put a wire nut on it. So there's one ground wire that was already there. Two other ground wires going to the switch box, and this ground pigtail that I connected here to the green screw. So that one is already connected. Now you remember we had a white wire. The wire that goes to the other box, I connected it to one of the screws. And there was also a black wire from the 14-2. I connected it to the other screw. The brass colored screw is the hot side. The silver colored screw is neutral, and the neutral is identified because it's a white wire. And the hot wire is identified because it's a black wire. So basically, the power source to the switch box is already done. Now, let's go to the switch box to tell you what we're going to do. Here, all the grounds are going to be joined together. There are three grounds, and I'm also going to add one more piece, the same as I did here. And then after I have that ground connection, I'm going to take all the neutrals, which are three neutrals. I'm going to cut them to the same length and join them, the three neutral wires, and put a wire nut on them and tuck them as far back as possible. So in the end, there will be two black wires, one for one light and the other wire for the other light. And the other black wire that I'll have left is the one with this mark, which is the hot wire. I'll show you in a bit. First, I'm going to connect the ground wire and the neutrals. Here, I've already joined the ground wires, put the wire nut on, and as you can see, I added two more pieces. One ground will be for one switch, the other ground for the other switch. So this is already done. What I'm going to do is push this part here, push it into the box, and only those two will be sticking out. These two ground wires for when I have to connect the switches. Here, I've already joined the neutrals, which are three wires. One coming from the outlet box, and one goes to one light, and the other goes to the other light. So I put its wire nut on, and I'm going to tuck it inside the box. This is what the wires I've been putting in look like, the ground and the neutral. I always put the ground in first, so it's as far back in the box as possible. Then comes the neutral, and then I'm going to do this one. This will be a switch, that's another switch, and that'll be the hot wire, the power source. We'd already identified the hot wire here using this little piece of electrical tape. So what I did was add two more pieces of wire and put his wire nut on. This one of those wires will carry current to one switch. The other one will carry current to the other switch. These are the wires that go to the light. The ground is already connected to the switch here. Same for the other switch. The ground is already connected. I connected the hot wire here. Remember, this is the hot wire. One wire connects to a screw on the switch. This switch only has two screws, so it doesn't matter which of the two screws you put the hot wire on. This other one takes another wire to one of the screws, and it doesn't matter if I connect this wire there or here. So basically, we've already connected the power source now. Now we're going to start connecting the wires that belong to the switch. We have one wire here and another wire over here, and this one will connect to that screw. This other one will connect to the other screw. I've already connected the switch leg to the switch there. Remember, one of these wires is the hot wire. One of these wires is the hot wire, and the hot wire joins here. Remember the piece of tape? So the black wire we had left over here, remember, one goes to a light. I already connected it to one of the screws. It doesn't matter if I put it here or there. And I've already connected the other wire too. I'm going to tuck these wires in and put the switches into the box. Put that box in its place, and then we'll go up to connect the lights. I've already connected the power now. We have this light bulb. This other light bulb with each individual one specifically controlled by its own separate switch. And we're going to do the test right now to see if they're actually working as expected. I turn on one switch. One of the bulbs turns on, and then let's go ahead and flip the other switch as well. After doing that, it turns on too. And here we turn on both. Let's cast it. And they're working. So let's go over what we did one more time. From this outlet, we're pulling the power for this box. So the white to the neutral on the silver screw, the black wire on the brass colored screw. The grounds are joined. You add they call it a mouse tail, or it's also called a pigtail in English. The ground connects to the outlet. Here we bring power from this box. We put two wires from this power line coming in here. We add two small wires with a wire nut. One goes to that switch, the other to the other switch. Then from these two wires coming in, where one goes to one bulb and the other to the other bulb. The neutrals are joined together with the ones from this box. That's three neutrals. Join them with a wire nut and tuck them in. The grounds too. All the grounds are joined together. And we take two ground scraps, one for this switch, the other for this switch. That leaves the black wires, the switch legs for each bulb. Those will be connected to one of the screws on the switch. It doesn't matter which. This is a regular switch. It only has two screws. Same here. The switch leg connects to one of the screws. And as for the hot, well, the hot coming from this one too. It connects to one screw and it connects to the other screw. And that's basically it. There they are. And well, for the person who asked for a video on how this demo is done, there it is. And friends, this video is educational. Hope you liked it. Thumbs up. Don't forget the little bell icon. For subscriptions, click on that too. You'd help this channel a lot by sharing, liking, and subscribing. And friends, I'll see you in the next video.